What's up, YouTube? It's Fur Tactical. Today we will be talking about my Glock 30 Gen 4. This is one of my favorite handguns that I own, and in my opinion, one of the best 45 ACP concealed carry guns that you can buy. So let's get into it. Let's talk about my take on it and how I carry it. So before we get into the video, yes, the gun is clear, safe direction. So off starters, yes, I own now 3 Glocks. I stopped carrying this gun like 3 weeks ago. I switched it out for a CZ. So I do have more guns than just Glocks. I have Glock, CZ, SIG, Smith & Wesson. So I do have other guns aside from Glock. That being said, this is still one of my favorite handguns that I own and have shot up to date. So for those of you who don't know, the Glock 30 is a double stack 45 ACP handgun. So it is a little chunky, but it's a very, very versatile handgun, and I'll explain why in a second. I just want to preface this by saying that this is my first handgun that I've ever owned. I carried this for a little over 2 years, and it's done me well. I have not had any malfunctions with this gun, and yes, I do shoot it regularly. I have a little bit over 1,000 rounds through it now because I have other guns that I shoot, so it's probably around like 12 to 1,500 rounds, but I have not had any malfunctions with this gun yet. And this is one of the 2 or 3 guns I haven't had malfunctions with. As a matter of fact, all the guns that I own that I haven't had malfunctions with that are handguns are Glocks, ironically. But that's not to say Glocks can't malfunction, because I do have a 43X, my girlfriend's gun. That one is a little more finicky, you know, a limp wrist and stuff like that. But this Glock is very, 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 very reliable. So if you're in the market for a Glock 30, I would start by saying you look at a Gen 5. I personally like the finger grooves of the Gen 4, but since this slide is so short, a lot of times, you know, if you're like me, you don't mind racking it from the front. The Gen 5 does have front slide serration, so you get the front and back. It does have a different coating. I have a couple gripes about this gun though. For starters, the sights, they are these stock plastic U-Glock sights. I don't really like modifying my concealed carry handguns aside from maybe like a light and sights. And on this one, I do have a back plate that, you know, says Ferg on it. However, which is my YouTube name, Ferg, my last name, you know. But I just haven't bothered to change them yet. I will change them. I have carried it for 2 years, and, you know, they've been okay. I'm accurate with them. I just think the plastic is not very durable. They do get kind of nicked up and stuff easily. So that's one of the first things you should probably upgrade if you do want to upgrade this gun. Those of you who do not know, Gen 3 Glock 30s had the Glock 30, which was basically this in this configuration. As you can see, it's very thick. I do have hands on the larger side, so I do have the large back strap with the dovetail on here. But the Gen 3, when these came out, had the Glock 30, which was the regular thickness here and thickness here. The Glock 30S, which takes the Glock 30 slide, and it's, since the Glock 30 single stack, it has a slimmer slide. So if you're looking for something that's thin, the Glock 30S is probably a better carry option for you. Then you have the Glock 30SF, which is a short frame, so I'll explain that now. So as you can see here, without the back strap, this gun is a lot thinner. You know, you can really see the difference there. However, I do like the bigger grip. It does make it kind of like a brick, but you do get all of these options. You know, you get the medium, the large without the dovetail. You get the medium with the dovetail, the large with the dovetail. So essentially, like this would be the Glock 30 SF. The Gen 4s are automatically SF when you buy them. So this is a short frame, because you can see here the frame is shorter than it would be with this. I like the dovetail because it really lets you get a nice high purchase on the gun without having to worry about slide bite or anything like that. You know, some people do have issues with that. Some people do hate this, but like I said, I prefer the finger grooves. So I know a lot of you are like 45 connoisseurs, so you would say, oh, how could you say a Glock 30 is the best EDC, right, for 45 ACP? You'd say, oh, there's a 1911, there's the HK USP, there's the FNX 45 Tactical, FNX 45, there's the FN 545, there's a bunch of other models of guns that are 45 ACP. So why would I say, in my opinion, that this is the best 45 ACP for concealed carry? Here's why. So what is the main issue that people face when they want to carry 45 ACP? You're limited in capacity. So you have a lot of 1911s that only carry like 7 rounds, a lot of single stack 45 ACP handguns only carry about 7 or 8 rounds. You know, you may be able to squeeze out a few more here or there, but for the most part, they're limited capacity wise. Now, if you live in a state where you can only have 10 rounds, this gun is perfect. But yes, it's great that 45 is a man stopper per se, but you're limited on capacity. In a lot of situations nowadays, you're faced with more than one threat if they're coming to carjack you, break in your house, whatever. So I personally think 10 rounds is still not even a lot, but it's a lot better than 7 or 8. So this gun out of the box comes with 10 round magazines. Now they do make 9-round magazines that fit flush with the frame here, but mine, I bought it in Florida, so it came with the 10-round mags. I'm not sure. Some states, I think, sell them with the 9-round mags. You can buy the 9-round mags that fit flush, but, you know, 10-round mag, you get a little base plate on the bottom, so 10+1. That's honestly, in this package, very, very good. And it's not super duper heavy. Now, unless I'm going to like a funeral or something like that, I don't carry it with a 10-round mag because I live in Florida and I like capacity. So how do I carry it? Let me show you guys how I carry it. So this right here is a mag from a Glock 21/41, full size 45 ACP magazine, which holds 13 rounds. This right here is an X grip. So you slide the X grip on, and this is typically how I carry it. And you've essentially just made a Glock 30X because you have the full size frame with the Glock 30 side Glock. I really think you should make a Glock 30X, even Gen 5 MOS. That'd be like perfect for a carry, and then you get the extra capacity and the full size grip. This is perfect for me because it really makes the gun really well balanced, especially when you have a light out front. I don't like this light on this gun, and I'll explain that in a second. But this is my ideal carry setup. But when I carry this gun, I typically carry 2 mags. So let me show you what else I carry. This is also a Glock 21 mag, but it has a Terran Tactical +4, which makes it 17 rounds. So now let's say you're traveling and you only have space for 1 gun, and let's say, okay, you're cool with the 10 rounds, right? So you put the 10 rounds in. You can throw this in your pocket. I do have a mag carrier for it. I'll show you guys my holster setup in a second. Okay, get back to your hotel, your Airbnb, or whatever. Now you have home defense. You can use this mag, or if you want more, you can use this. So the one thing about this gun is you can get as small as you want, but you're not limited. So you can increase the size from 9-round mags all the way up to, if you want to use the full size Glock 21/41 mags, you can add a +4 to that. You can even use this +2 Pierce grip extension on the 13-round mag. I don't really like it because when you load it, 45 is heavy. I mean, so you can typically find 45 in either 185 grain or 230 grain. That tends to get a little heavy, so this doesn't have the best construction when fully loaded. I don't like how it kind of doesn't sit on the rail all the way sometimes, so I don't use this aside from the range. But you're still not limited to that. There's more. You can use these KCI stick mags, 26 rounds, or even the one out of the Chris Vector. So this gun is very, very, very versatile. Yes, the barrel's still short, you know, on it, but this right here, if you really need that many rounds, I don't think most of you will, but if you want to use it at the range or if you want to use it for home defense, you can. So before you guys knock this mag, yes, this did break on me because if you see here, I only put this one on this mag without realizing, and it split it, so I glue it back together. Some people ask how I got this to work. I just had to notch out the back. But I love this because you can drop this and it's going to stay in place due to the set pin, unlike the Pierce extension. I've even had these fall apart on me, like if they hit the ground fully loaded. So that's why I really don't trust these outside of the range. Even unloading them before, I've had bullets kind of get jammed up in here and it just, the follower stopped moving for a bit and you had to tap it. Never had these jam on me at the range, but I will not use this for self-defense or home defense, anything, really just fun. Now this I haven't had any issues with. But before you knock this mag, this is very usable if you have a MCK, which I do. I have a little MCK that works for the Glock 30 and the Glock 29. So you essentially just turn your pistol into a little subgun, and it works really great with these because you go from having a 10-round gun that you could concealed carry to having a little sub gun you could use for home defense, and it's a very versatile handgun. And again, not only can you use the 30 round mags, this thing is very versatile. So they do make drum mags for this, so you could even run a drum mag if you wanted. I mean, it looks kind of stupid, especially on a gun this small, but you know, range fun. I wouldn't use this for self-defense because I have had issues with this drum just working in general, not so much in the gun, but just the drum itself working. I wouldn't use this for self-defense, but you could, especially if you have an MCK, you could use it if you want to. Then you can even put an X grip on this, and that's how that looks with the next grip. So I mean, if you want to do it, you can. I just personally wouldn't use a drum. That's one reason why this is great if you want a 45 ACP handgun that you can customize to how you like it in terms of capacity wise, length wise, grip wise. This is one of them, because you get the back straps and then you have the X grip option that you can do with the full size mag, and you can do little grip extensions even on the little 10 round mags. You have endless options. So now we got past the versatility of the mag options and how you can customize the grip to how you like it. We'll talk about what I carry mine in. So this is an Insane Kydex Creation light bearing holster. I have the monoblock on here with the mod wing, and I also have their mag carrier. These work wonders for me. I mean, you can obviously find other ways to carry it. That's another beauty about this being a Glock, and you know, this just has endless holster options. So if you don't put a light on this gun, you have even more holster options, but there are so many different holster companies that make options for this gun with or without a light, and that is another big thing for me. I do believe if I carry a gun at night, should have a light on there just so you can identify your target if necessary. So I do carry this with the light, and every concealed carry gun I have that I use at nighttime I carry with the light. So that's a big thing for me, and being able to find holsters for lights. This gun has endless aftermarket, so you can find pretty much any holster brand you want to go with. It just comes down to personal preference. So that's another aspect of the versatility that I love with this gun. So now that we kind of talked about, you know, the versatility of it, let's talk about my gripes with this gun. One of my main issues with the way I have this set up is the light, the O light. So I would strongly advise against putting this, especially on this gun. But I've had this thing overheat on me after running for only like 2 minutes. They are Chinese, so you know, it's whatever, but this is the only O light I bought. Actually, no, I have bought one for my 43X for my girlfriend. But aside from that, now we only run TLRs because, like I said, this has been kind of inconsistent, hers and mine. You know, you use them for more than 1 or 2 minutes and they overheat, and that's it. But this gun being 45 ACP, it really does not have a lot of kick for what it is. Now it definitely has more than a 9mm, but it's a nice thump. It's not super snappy, it just has a nice push. But definitely had some people who are used to shooting 9mm shoot this, and you know, they're kind of surprised by the recoil. But that being said, with good practice and good fundamentals, this gun really doesn't recoil that hard. But if you do have a grip like me where I'd like to rest my thumb out a little further here, you know, some people come back here more so, but I prefer to have my thumb out like this along the frame of the gun. The recoil with how this is shaped right here tends to hit my hand, and I don't like that, because after a while, you gotta imagine 45 ACP recoiling to your thumb right here with this sharp edge. It starts to kind of hurt. So I would recommend using a different light setup on this. I do like how it's, you know, quick detach, you know, but there's other light options that I would really suggest on this gun. Maybe like a TLR 7 or TLR 6 or something like that. Another issue that I have with this gun is not a big issue, because I started my gun journey shooting Glock triggers, so I'm used to the triggers. I don't mind them. But if you look at the trigger on this, right, it does have a wall, but the wall's a bit smushy. It's not really that crisp, right? It's there, but it kind of just mushed through it in a sense. It's there, you know, very tactile reset. But when you see, that's the wall, then it just kind of pushes through it. So it's not really super spongy, but it's not the best. So, you know, it's a Glock. You can upgrade the trigger, but I don't really like upgrading internal components on my carry guns just because I want them as reliable as possible. And especially trigger wise, I do prefer leaving the trigger stock on carry guns. So now that this is not a carry gun, I will probably upgrade the trigger. This gun is also very durable. I mean, the coating on it is great. I do have a little bit of like wear here and here on the slide, but other than that, the gun is very solid. The reason I stopped carrying this thing though is because it's chunky and it's heavy. So for comparison, this is my compact CZP-10C, and this is a 17 round mag in here right now. Look at the length difference right there, first of all. So obviously the gun's already longer, so if you want to carry this, which I can conceal this, I have done it quite a few times, I've carried it like this a lot, it's kind of long and cumbersome, and it's also just, it's heavy. That's no other way to say it. It's just heavy. I mean, look at the difference. You have 230 grain bullet versus a 115 grain 9mm, and 17 rounds of this is way lighter than this. So the thing is, if you like capacity and you like 45, you're gonna have to pay the price somewhere, and that's gonna be weight. So I just went to a 9mm just because it's a little bit lighter. But that's not to say, you know, if you don't care about carrying ammo like that, or if you're cool with 20 rounds, because you can easily carry a 10 round mag in the gun and a 10 round mag in the mag carrier or something like that, or in your pocket, or a 10 and a 13, it'll be a lot lighter. But the gun's still chunky. It's thick. It's, you know, so if you were looking for something thinner, that's why I always say just go Glock 30S, because it is thinner because of the 36 slide on the 30. But it's a very versatile gun. If you like 45, it soaks up the recoil nicely. It shoots nicely. It has a rail, so it's versatile. Some 45 ACP handguns do not have a rail, even the full-size ones, because they're more old school. It has endless aftermarket, so you can really do what you want to it. Mag releases, triggers, slide releases, the pins on the frame. You can extend the takedown levers, any light you want. You can get a Gen 5 and get an MOS model that's already pre-cut on the slide. You know, it has 4 slide serrations, or you can get your Gen 4 cut. They also have aftermarket barrels for it. It's endless things you can do with this gun, you know. So if you're looking for a versatile 45 that you can carry and use for home defense, it's great. I do think Glock, like I said, should make a Glock 30X with the 21 frame. So even though I don't carry this gun anymore, I still love it. It is honestly my favorite pistol that I own, and my favorite pistol I've shot so far. And I have shot quite a bit of guns. I don't know why I kind of gravitate towards this for some reason. I love 45 ACP. It's actually my favorite caliber, but this is just my favorite gun as of right now in terms of what I own and all the guns I've shot. And that's even compared to like a FNX 45, which is a very smooth gun. I just like the way this one shoots better for some reason. I don't know why. Call me weird. And even though I stopped carrying it, this gun has not lost purpose for me, because I do have family out in Seattle. I just got my concealed carry there a few months ago, actually. So this is the gun that I'll be using to conceal carry there, because they have 10 round mag bands. So why not carry something bigger if it's going to be, you know, only 10 rounds? So 45 or 10 mil. I'm used to carrying this gun anyways, and I have a 10mm that I carry there in the woods, and then I, you know, gonna take my 45 to carry, you know, concealed over there. But if you are thinking about getting this gun, get it. It's very versatile. And with the Gen 5s being out, you can find the Gen 4s for a little bit less now. But I would probably, if I was buying for the first time and it was now, I'd probably buy a Gen 5, just because, you know, if you don't like the finger grooves, that's great, and all the upgrades the Gen 5 gets. But you cannot go wrong with the Glock 30. And I've even seen some police trading Glock 30s on sale, so you guys might be able to find a deal. If there's anything I didn't touch on with this gun that you would like to know, drop it in the comments. It's a very versatile gun, so if anybody asks me to get it, I would say get it. Just shoot it if you've never shot before. It is important to train, especially if you're carrying something a little more kick to it. Train, shoot, practice proper fundamentals. That way, you know, you can place accurate shots. If you guys have any more questions about this gun, please let me know. Anything I didn't touch on, drop it in the comments, and I'll answer it the best I can. But that being said, man, that's pretty much it. So Thanks for watching. I'm out.